Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
To deny me all the cross of me that checked into me. You, oh no!
We're almost here.
You better not try anything.
What, like? Oh, like kill? You think I'm gonna kill you?
I mean...
That's fresh. It's hilarious to think I'm capable of something like that.
Definitely didn't say I thought you were capable.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and Ironheart. You might not have heard about it, but it's the new black female bi Iron Man. Did I mention that she's bi? How come you haven't watched it yet? They made her bi. They made it so all the shippers and the creeps on Twitter would spend all day flicking their bean, double clicking their mouse to the idea. She's bi, guys. Go see the show. It doesn't matter that it's not good. It doesn't matter. You got to tune in or you're a bigot. Well, that has already begun, as many people have left very reasonable reviews that happen to be negative of the show, and the mainstream media is out there calling it review brigading. I am sure, bold prediction, this show will not get a second season. It will start out with very high viewership and then peter out completely because, again, it's yet another show that's put out on identity politics. It's watch it because she's black. Watch it because she's bi. Not watch it because of the awesome action scenes. Watch it because it fills in some new storyline. That's not what the headlines are. And most people probably watch it using a VPN. By the way, quick word from this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, if you aren't using a VPN yet, you're completely missing out, and Private Internet Access is the one I use on all of my devices. If you've been following the news, you see that censorship, websites, apps are getting shut down in certain countries, all sorts of craziness. Well, a VPN helps you never have to worry about that. Private Internet Access also protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, internet service providers, and others that can view your personal data. Perhaps also just as importantly, Private Internet Access allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows simply cannot be accessed if you're not in the target location. Happens to me all the time. Many sports events also have regional blackouts. Well, VPNs can be a convenient way to make sure you're getting the content that you're paying for. Private Internet Access also allows you to protect an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time, so your entire household with a single subscription. And I've been working with Private Internet Access so long that I have an absolutely massive discount available to my viewers. Link in the description below. Get Private Internet Access today using my link. Save huge, protect your computers, access all the content that you've been paying for, and ensure that your internet is never censored. Now, here are the audience scores for Ironheart. If the show didn't even release yet, this is just loser behavior. Now, there were some early reviews that came in that gave the show a 32%. Again, they don't care about the people that voted early and gave it a 5 out of 5. It's only the people that voted negative, because there were hundreds of people that gave it a 5 out of 5 before the show ever came out. Maybe it's because of this cringe marketing. Look at this. Okay, this is the star calling Dominique Thorne. That's her name. It's refreshing to see it's not an actress with the eyeballs that don't look like they're running away from each other. But here in a totally real, unscripted moment, Robert Downey Jr. calls the star. I can only tell you that this is unimaginable cringe. I think we need a new word for cringe. Let me know in the comment section what your new word for cringe is. Oh, look, it says Robert Downey Jr. and his emoticon or his profile picture happens to be Iron Man. I'm sure that's totally normal.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guess why I'm calling? It's June 24th, which is
It's Dad's birthday. Happy birthday.
my dad's birthday. Thanks, very considerate. Also, God, you've been doing too much press. Ironheart premieres today.
Look at that. Look, they got a camera set up right behind him. They didn't even bother to hide that they have a bunch of cameras set up.
It's all been leading to this. Isn't that exciting?
Oh my God! Thank you. Thank you for the
And then obviously there's a camera filming her, which is again totally normal.
call.
17 years the MCU
Oh
to
my
the
God.
premiere of Ironheart, and we're in this love together.
Man.
So
No,
psyched.
no, you're not.
Man.
I've
I
grown so fond of you, it's bananas.
thank you.
Congratulations. I'll be watching it with the world, and we'll keep each other posted, yeah?
Oh my god, okay, yes, we will.
All right, let's go.
Oh my god. It's so bad. It's so inauthentic. Which is kind of the whole thing with modern Marvel, isn't it? You know, it's just all inauthentic and contrived. If you look at some of the actual reviews, okay, here's Collider. Ironheart's Rotten Tomatoes audience scores hits 32% thanks to review brigading hours before it premieres. Okay, again, many of those reviews also happen to be 5 out of 5. In fact, if we look at it now, okay, I love how this review, amazing, the representation, the accuracy of blackness, the soundtrack, everything about these first 2 episodes was amazing. 5 out of 5. None of that has to do with the show. No, okay, look, I live in the suburbs. It's primarily white. The only black guys that I know also happen to be gay, so I don't know if they really accurately represent the black community as a whole or not. But I guarantee you they aren't watching television shows simply for representation of their skin color. This is, again, they continue to get this wrong. Nobody cares about that. A few loud dorks on X or Twitter, they obsess about it, but the overwhelming majority of people couldn't care less. In fact, if we look, now this has gone down. This was at 70 before. It's now at or 73 before. Now I refresh it's at 70. The reviews are fine. They're middling. Oh, it just dropped again, 72. Now, the important thing to note here is that there's only been 39 reviews. Normally, a new release by Marvel would have gotten hundreds and hundreds of reviews. The number of critics that review something generally will be an indicator in terms of what the viewership's like, because they're going to think, hey, is somebody even going to watch this review? Do people care about my review? Is it worth being 1 of 500? If so, then they review it. Now, again, do people give a show a 1-star review because they hate the concept? Yes. But they also give it a 5-star review. Let's look at some of the woke reviewers out there. Paul Tassi, okay? Far leftoid. I'm a representation guy, okay? Here's what he had to say about Ironheart. Marvel's Ironheart is not good so far. Perhaps Marvel's lowest profile release to date in MCU. But don't you get it, Paul? Don't you get it? They don't care about whether or not people care about this character. They care that they can put a chick in it and make her black and gay. That's what they care about. They do not care about the popularity of the character. There were 100 better options for a TV series than Riri Williams as Ironheart. Hundreds, maybe. How about Gambit? You know, how about any well-known X-Men character, which you recently bought? How about, you know what I would watch? An awesome origin story for Magneto. You know, but he's a white male. Well, how about, it is so profoundly obvious to anyone who's watching that the first thing they look at is like, how can we force more diversity on people? Not like, how do we have an interesting show? Half the reason now Ahsoka was popular, but it was like, frontline Star Wars fans didn't really know who Ahsoka was. Hardcores did. At least it was a more well-known character that could also happen to make black. So Ahsoka got made. This character, I guarantee you could ask 1,000 people on the street who Ironheart's real name is, and no one would know that it's Riri Williams. Nobody. All right. You see, Ironheart follows Riri Williams, a young genius, trying to follow in Tony Stark's suit crafting footsteps. Now, again, this character does exist in the comic books. I'm not saying this isn't like a race swap. This character does exist. Okay. Now we're practically memory wiped that the appearances start over. The first 3 episodes have been strange, to say the least, and not interesting. I will say up front, I'm very impressed with star Dominique Thorne. Of course, you got to say that. And while I don't think she made a huge impression in Wakanda Forever, It's much more impactful here and a charismatic lead. She also had great chemistry with co-star Alden Ehrenreich, who I'm surprised to see here in a small supporting role in a minor MCU show after a hugely high-profile turn in Oppenheimer and leading an entire Star Wars movie, but he does a good job. The storyline is all over the place. Riri's entire motivation appears to be simply getting money for a suit for the purpose of building a suit. At the beginning, she briefly mumbles something about using it to help first responders, seemingly because her stepfather and best friend were lost their lives. But there the goal just seems to be she wants a cool suit. You know why that happens? It's because the writers aren't interested in writing a good show. They're not interested in making a good product. They're only interested in creating a vessel in which to put a black bi star on show so they can say, "Slay Queen, we did it." If Paul Tassi says your show sucks, it's bad. IGN, you know the outlet that everyone says you can't spell ignorant without IGN? They said it sucked. Riri Williams' big Disney Plus bow has more than just daddy issues. What was their final score? A 5 out of 10, mediocre. And they probably spent $100 million on this. $100 million for mediocre. But guess what gets thousands of likes on Twitter? Breaking: Riri Williams Ironheart will reportedly be bi. How about this? Riri being bi confirmed. Real ones know. Since Shuri. Thank you. Hashtag Ironheart. I am convinced that these accounts are owned by Disney. The second, this was in the middle of the night, I quote tweeted this and made fun of it. The second I did that, they blocked it. This is an unverified account with no followers. 30,000 followers. That is literally dedicated to simping for Riri Williams and Disney crap. This is a fake account run by a fake person, in my opinion, that Disney pays for through some marketing agency. Look at this. Marvel Studios claim that Ironheart will have the same tones as Miss Marvel and will confirm Riri Williams is bi. Well, I sure hope the 12 bi viewers who also like Ironheart, or also like Marvel and obscure Marvel characters are ready for this one. Nobody's going to see this. It's going to tank, and they're going to blame you. I can see it happen already, because that's all that ever happens. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.